Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update video on two cases that I've covered that I think are extremely important. One is going to be the Tristyn Bailey case and the other one is the Justin Evans case. So if you guys are not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on the little notification bell if you want to get notified when I post update videos such as these, or if you just want to see other cases that I cover on my channel. So I think I'm just going to jump right into talking about the Tristyn Bailey case. There was a lot of evidence recently released, and it is what is called discovery evidence. Released in the discovery evidence was 154 potential witnesses, including law enforcement, people present during statements made by Aiden Fucci, and the medical examiner. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of other people included in this list, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say his school friends, his friends that he confessed that he wanted to kill someone to. And there's actually another person that I'm gonna mention next that's very important in this, but she's probably also included, and that would be his girlfriend. According to Action Jack's news, there was a list of exhibits that were released. And in the state's discovery, these were some of the things that really stood out. So I'm just gonna read them off of here for you because there's quite a few and I'm not gonna remember all of them off the top of my head. The first things that were taken as evidence were audio recordings with Fuji, Smith, as well as Tristyn's parents. And Smith is Aiden's mother, Crystal Smith. There was downloaded content from cell phones with Crystal Smith and Fuji's father, Jason Fuji. Results from phone subpoenas for Fuji, Jason Fuji, as well as a person identified as TB. And I'm assuming TB is Tristyn Bailey. That's my best guess, but it just listed as TB in quotes. So Aiden Fucci's school records, which are listed as 42 PDF files. Search warrants for the phones of Fuji and his parents, Fuji's Snapchat, as well as Instagram and Snapchat's account for TB. So again, I'm thinking they collected all of Aiden and Tristyn's Snapchat, Instagram accounts, any of their social medias and their phones. 5 video files and 2 JPEG files from Snapchat. So there was only ever one Snapchat released. I'm wondering what that could mean. If there's 5 other video files and 2 JPEGs, did Aiden take pictures possibly and have them on his phone? I'm really curious about that. Also, there was surveillance videos from Fuji's residence and then neighborhood videos from 5 different locations. So they've also never released any of the surveillance footage, but there is 5 different videos. So I'm assuming they probably gathered those from different neighbors, possibly other ones that had like Ring doorbells and whatnot, but I think that's really interesting. So another big piece of evidence was drawings, and this is where it gets interesting. It was released in a recent police document that when Tristyn's body was found, she had 2 drawings on her body, and both were discovered on the inside of her ankles. So the first word was the word karma, which was written in the inside of her left ankle, and then the inside of her right ankle there was a smiley face. I used to draw myself all the time when I was a kid. I can see a smiley face being drawn on her, but why would she or her friends write the word karma on her? It just doesn't make much sense to me, and I'm very curious about these drawings on her body. But nothing's been released concerning what that could mean. So not only were there drawings on Tristyn, but when they searched Aiden Fucci's room, there were a number of disturbing and violent drawings taken as evidence. It was said that there is an illustration of a satanic symbol such as a pentagram, as well as another drawing of a naked female that has X's over her private areas, and there's a blood coming from multiple wounds on the drawing. It's giving me like satanic panic vibes. I don't know if he's trying to lead into an insanity plea, but it's very strange. I don't know. So it's like not only was Aiden telling his friends that he wanted to kill someone, but he was kind of foreshadowing it in these drawings. And it's just really making me wonder about this whole essay thing that the police denied. And I'll also get to that in a second. It's just so strange to me. Like, why would he draw a naked female with X's over her private parts? It really makes me wonder what happened to Aiden or why Aiden has these viewpoints towards women. It's definitely giving me like OG serial killer vibes. But it gets worse. So let's get into what Aiden's girlfriend had to say. So it was revealed that Aiden had a girlfriend, and I'm really hoping that she is no longer calling him her boyfriend and that she's now calling him an ex. So it was revealed that she said a number of extremely concerning things about Aiden. Number 1, this is the most concerning one to me just to start off with, is that he would come up behind her randomly and put a knife to her throat and pretend that he was slitting her throat. And he did this as like a game. He thought it was fun. I don't see how it's fun to pretend to slit your significant other's throat, but okay, sure. She also said that Aiden allegedly told her that when he got angry, he would hear voices in his head that would tell him that he was worthless and that he should hurt people. To make it even more horror movie creepy, he had nicknames for his 2 knives, and the names were picker and poker. And she also claimed that Aiden knew something was wrong with him and that he wanted to reach out for help. She also told police that Aiden also confessed to her about wanting to kill someone, just like he did with his friends. And this time it was detailed in the way that he was going to find a person walking alone at night, drag them into the woods, and stab them to death. But like the friends, this girl never told anyone either. It's like all of these signs were so blatantly obvious that it seemed like the whole entire school and everyone in this age range that were friends with Aiden knew something was wrong with him, yet no one said or did anything. That's what's really bothering a lot of people about this case. It's like so many people knew something was wrong with Aiden and he had told them, yet no one said a word. Tristyn's death could have possibly been prevented very easily. Another thing I found really interesting is that she admitted that when Aiden was in the back of that police car where he took that Snapchat, that infamous Snapchat, she said that Aiden called her and told her that he was going to be pleading the fifth. And then to make you really question this whole thing about how he knew something was wrong with him and he wanted help, when he was being interrogated and he was told that he was the last person to have seen Tristyn, he basically said, well, how is that my problem? The audacity this child has. It turns out, and I didn't know this, but apparently in the same interview, Aiden admits that he tried to kiss Tristyn and she pushed him away, and that's when he pushed her or whatever and she hit her head. Now, I know none of us believe that story and Tristyn's body tells a different story, but that really leads me to ask about this whole essay thing and that the police are denying it, especially with that drawing of the naked body. Like, it's all starting to connect these dots for me. Despite all of that, the medical examiner came out and released that there was no signs of SA, but there were hand marks on Tristyn's thighs that weren't her own hand marks. It really makes you wonder, was there an attempt at SA? But Tristyn was strong. She was a strong girl, that maybe she fought back and he thought she could possibly get away. He wasn't able to do it, and so instead he just murdered her. It's a thought. And I'm sure you can get where I'm going with this, but why would there be hand marks on the inside of her thighs if nothing happened or was going to happen? Strange. It's all very strange, this information that's released. So that is all the information that's currently released on the Aiden Fucci Tristyn Bailey case. Let me know your thoughts on this case and the information that was released. That's a lot to unload. That's a lot of different evidence and new information that just came out. So let me know your thoughts on all of that below and maybe your theories now that this information has come out. But that's all the information I have right now. So we're now going to jump into the Justin Evans case. There are two new updates I want to mention about the Justin Evans case. The first one being that Justin's mother in the community made a memorial for Justin. There was flowers, a huge cross put up. Like, they literally built a ginormous cross out of wood and they put that up. They nailed giant signs to the trees. There were like photos laid out and stuffed animals and stuff like that. Like, they just made a nice little memorial spot for Justin for people to go to remember him and to talk to him, and to also let people know that this case isn't over with. Justin still needs justice. And some of those statements were made on these signs that were nailed to the trees. And the strange thing about this is two of these signs were removed from the trees, and the two signs that were removed, one said the OPP failed Justin, which is the Ontario Provincial Police, and the other one was, where are the earbuds in the phone? I wonder who would steal these. And on top of that, they didn't just steal them, they left these signs at the spot by the little pond where Justin's body was found. Now, who would steal these signs and who knew where his body was? I'm just saying. It's very strange. Justin's sister Kristen is the person that found these signs, and on top of that, It's a Crime, Linda posted a video the other day where Kristen and her mother did a walk from the trailer into the woods by this pond where Justin's body was found, trying to prove that, especially if Justin had lost that much blood and his blood pressure would have been so low, there's no way he could have walked if he lost like half of his body of blood that far over the terrain that they needed to walk through to get to that pond, and there'd be no evidence, no one's seen him because there were multiple homes he had to pass. What they're trying to prove is that it's impossible. If you go over to Linda's video, you can see that video that Jamie, Justin's mom, and Kristen shared with her. I'll have it linked down below, or I have it at a card right now so you can click over, like pause the video and click over. But I find that very, very interesting, that video, especially for the fact that whoever stole these signs had to literally go through the woods and put them back there and then run back and speed off in their truck. Why wouldn't, if you were gonna steal the signs, why wouldn't you just steal them? Why would you go put them where his body was found? Very weird. On top of that, Justin's body was found there, but other people would go to this pond in this area and Justin's body was never seen there. And this area was also thought to have been searched. It's not that far from the trailer, and if they combed all of the immediate area, they would have found Justin's body there immediately, but he wasn't found until months later. Doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, it's very strange. The two, out of all the signs I could have taken, they took these two signs and left them where his body was found. Let me know your thoughts about that below. I have so many thoughts on all of that. It's just, I could make a whole entire video just ranting about that. But I wanted to get into the next little bit of information, which is Ken McKinney's Zoom court that he went into on the 13th. And that was his court case for obstruction of justice when he lied about his whereabouts from when Justin went missing. And so on the 13th, Ken McKinney had this court date, he went into it, and right off the bat, what was really odd about this was that his wife, Glenna, tried to speak for him. And I found that so odd because Glenna isn't the one being charged, it's Ken. So why are you speaking for your husband who is capable of speaking for himself? And it seemed that the judge was also very confused by this because when they, phoned in for the Zoom court and Glenna said, oh, hi, I'm Glenna McKinney, I'm, representing Ken McKinney, which I don't understand why you say you're representing him. You're not his lawyer. And the judge was just very confused by that and said, well, where's Ken? I want to talk to Ken, right? Obviously, and then Ken got on. When Ken starts speaking to the judge, he basically says that he can't afford a lawyer and that he basically just wanted to settle it that day, which is not how it works. It's understandable him not being able to afford a lawyer, but there's also, public defenders. It's not like there's not. I think the most interesting part is that he wants to plead guilty for this charge. Now, why would he want to do that? Why is he admitting that he was lying about his whereabouts that day? That is still something that I am wondering and I am questioning to this day from the first time I heard about this case. Why, out of all the players that were in that home, is Ken the only one that didn't have a solid alibi? Glenna was at home and fell asleep on the couch after making breakfast for Justin, allegedly. Kiara and Bud went to Barrie to go shopping that day and seen Justin outside. Why does Ken have no story if he was home with Glenna too? Why is Ken the only one that never admitted to seeing Justin that day? Why is he the only one that doesn't have a storyline, I'm gonna call it, of what he did that day? He just simply lied about going to Barrie with them. Like, it was a while later too, it wasn't right off the bat either. So what was Ken doing that day? We want to guess that he was drunk that day, but even if you were drunk, you'd still remember seeing someone, or you could have said, oh yeah, I was sitting in front of the TV drinking beer all day. Like he didn't even just say that. He just instantly went and lied about going to Barrie. And my thing with that is, why did Glenna admit that she fell asleep on the couch and woke up and Justin wasn't there? Why wouldn't Ken just say the same thing, that, oh yeah, I seen him for breakfast, I fell asleep on the couch? Or why didn't Glenna and Ken both say that they went to Barrie with everyone else? It just doesn't make sense to me why Ken is the only one with this weird storyline. Ken's the only one with this alibi that makes even less sense than everyone else's. That's just something else that I wanted to mention that I found very strange. This court thing, he wants to plead guilty now. What could that mean? I don't know. If you guys have any theories, let me know down below. His next court date is now scheduled for August 3rd, so we have a few more weeks until that happens, and I think that's when he is sentenced. If he's gonna plead guilty. Don't take me on that, but I think that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, that is all the current information on the Justin Evans as well as the Tristyn Bailey case. Again, I said it like 5 times now, but I'm really curious on what your guys' thoughts and theories and ideas are on these two cases. I want to chat with you down below about them, and you should definitely chat with each other about them. Both of these cases are just stuck with me, especially the Justin Evans case, because I feel like the Aiden Fucci, Tristyn Bailey case is pretty solid. I feel like we all agree what happened there. It seems pretty obvious. With the Justin Evans case, it seems obvious, but like it's also skeptical and like nothing is solid. The police are not saying anything. So it's not like we can be like, okay, that's leading to this. We think it's this. There's nothing. It feels like the public is the one trying to solve this case, and the OPP are doing fuck all nothing. It's like they're sitting at a Tim Hortons parking lot eating some fucking jelly-filled donuts and just kicking back. What are they doing with this case is what I want to know. Why is the public more concerned about solving this case than the actual police seem to be? But yeah, that's all the information on these two cases right now. Of course, I'm gonna keep you guys updated when more information comes out. I'm sticking with these cases. I really want to know what the hell happened to Justin. I want to know who did it, and I want there to be consequences paid to those people. So as I said, if you're not subscribed to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so that you're notified when I do make update videos on cases such as these. And I will see you guys in the next video.